and 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am in the middle of coughing. I can't seem to stop, so I just gave up, and we're here, so I apologize if I start coughing. Um, yeah. We're gonna talk tonight about character questionnaires. We're gonna put one together, and then we're gonna throw it through Adobe and put it up for everybody so that it's like a fillable form, and you can use it for your own madness, or whatever.
Nefarious.
Yeah, yeah. If it's nefarious, it's all good. I'm down for nefarious. Um, but I think I'm gonna try to blow my nose and see if that helps them. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves, that would be a great time.
You want to go first?
Sure. I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I write fantasy. I am an actively careering writer and a vlog, podcast, etc. And I've, been playing D&D since some of you were born.
Oh, it makes me cold. Hello, my name is DJ Bloyer. I'm a writer of things. And
Hot
We like
diggity
hanging
damn.
out with Sarah.
I cannot stop coughing. It's making me crazy, and I'm really hot. I thought I would turn the AC off during the stream, and I turned it off for like 6 minutes, and now I'm in hell. So that's great. Let's say hello to the chatters. Jesse is here as our Jacob and Godzilla. So hello to Jesse, Jacob, and Godzilla. Thank you guys for being here. So I do have a thing set up. I wonder if he ever actually... Oh. Yeah, he waited till a long time later. Okay. So I do have... I'm in hell. That's what I have.
There's a cat licking my toe.
Oh, that's a situation.
Oh, sniffing it. Sorry.
Alright, so let's do this and see if I can get this to work right. Boop. Sorry, guys. It resizes itself, so I can't prepare too much for this. Did I mention I'm in hell? Alright. So that's roughly... it's close. There we go, now we're there.
Okay.
Alright, so... and the cat isn't on the back of my chair anymore. I have a bad habit of dumping the cat off the back of the chair and then feeling awful. Alright, so we are going to put together like a character questionnaire that we can fill in on characters. The first thing I want to say about doing these is that it's a really great way to waste time and not work. So you really want to be careful or set limits on how you do that. If you want to limit it to like, I only do it for my main characters, or I only do it on a character I'm stuck with, or things like that. But you don't want to do this for all of your characters. You might think you do, and you might like enjoy doing it for all of your characters, but you're going to fuck yourself. So do not.
There's something to be said for like. I tend to do a brief character outline for each character.
Yeah. But we're gonna be stupid here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea here is for us to just like be as dumb as possible. So the other part of that is going to be that we don't intend for this questionnaire to be something that you're going to answer all the questions on. Depending on how we roll with it, we may end up having sections in it. Because, like, there's questions that you might want if you work in a certain area or a different area or whatever. Like,
right.
So maybe we'll do that. We'll see kind of how we get rolling on that and how it always goes. So, yeah. Also, hello to Fairy Law, who is over in chat on Twitch, and Spence is here on YouTube. And I bet...
And Morgan's doing triple duty.
Morgan's
Ooh.
just dutying it up around here. Oh,
You
and
said
Travis is here.
duty!
Yes.
Why is my screen black? Hold on. There we go.
Do you have something in front of the window?
No, it was being a butthole. That's why. So, no, it wasn't. Well, now it's mostly black on purpose.
Okay.
But yes, I am streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. No, it wasn't. Well, now it's mostly black on purpose. And you unmuted yourself.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, YouTube. All right, so it's fixed now. And CJ's got the bandit.
I do have the bandit. He was
Yay.
trying to climb up the back of my chair.
Oh, well, thank you for coming by, Aphrodite. So, I'm screen sharing so they can see, you guys can see, so we all should be able to see this together. We're going to fill in the top things, which are, well, let me first switch it to narrow margins, because we don't need none of them margins, not like that.
You don't need to be wide.
So we're going to want to name.
Up the font?
Huh?
I think up the font.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have tiny monitors.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Or on their phones.
Mm-mm. Yeah, usually I try to make them about handwritten size anyway. But I'll make it a little bigger than that. I can see, we'll see how it looks. Wait, did that say Calibri? Ew.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Okay, that's better.
1 moment, I will be.
All right. And I am going to go ahead and put in spaces. The reason I'm putting in spaces is so that Adobe knows what to do with you. I don't know how specific normal people do this, because I know some people would keep track of, like, date of birth and stuff, but I don't know that I would always know that on a character. Is that something that we think would be typical, or...
I try to know at least maybe what season they were born in, maybe, if it ever becomes relevant.
Yeah, I suppose
I make
that's
it up
true.
on the show.
All right. And
I'm just like, it's been a lot of story. Maybe they should have had a birthday sometime.
Yeah.
Where does it fit in the story?
Okay, well, why don't we put...
But age, general age.
Yeah, age is probably a better way to do that. So we're just doing basic, so a basic description.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can put that T wherever I want to. I am the boss now.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all don't spell description. I spell description.
And that'll be like hair, eye, skin,
Right.
height, build, that kind of thing.
Right, like, he was a handsome dude with brown hair in his 30s. Like, it doesn't have to be all that descriptive. It could be hella descriptive. It just depends on,
right.
It could be whatever you want.
As I've said before, I learned from the reading Meet Up Late that I give zero shits what anybody's eye color is. I was dating my boyfriend for 3 years before I was like, I can't remember what color your eyes are, but I know they're not brown. In my defense, they've got some green in there. It's kind of hazily brown.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Where they're from?
Huh?
Where they're from.
Yeah, hold on.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to make sure I didn't miss anything in chat that we needed to... I need to fix the screen, though, because it's...
Yeah.
Word is too big.
I think will basic description cover gender or not?
Maybe we should just do a section that's like general gender identity.
Gender and orientation.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Their characters,
I fucking hate it. Stop helping me. Cunting thing. I wish I could tell Word never ever fix anything. I'll let you know. Please stop. No, you made a whole line, so that means that it's a giant, thick-ass line above, right against what you just made. No, I wanted a fucking line.
You can actually change that in the option.
Well, I've turned off every option that says auto whatever, and it won't do it.
And a half.
So, I don't know. I've thought it was turned off like a dozen times, but it just keeps fucking me. Well, we're gonna put gender
identity.
And orientation.
Gender.
Gender
yeah.
and orientation, yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Species? Are we? How fantasy are we?
I think what we're gonna do is we'll do a very basic, and then we'll add a section for like
genres.
Yeah, for like a more genre oriented.
I'll be honest. The one of my biggest frustrations about almost every character description that I found online is that they really are, unless you get one that's specifically for fantasy or for science fiction, they really are very much like one of the ones that I have asks for a hometown. One of them asks for favorite TV show.
Right.
These people don't even have TV. That's not even an option.
Right.
But they might have a favorite song.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess more general is probably our better bet.
And I don't think that those are bad questions.
No, I think for a lot of people those are great.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of people who write a lot of different things, those are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But
maybe just 3 favorite things.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I pulled.
Maybe just like a couple lines, like 2 lines like basic description has, but just call it favorites.
Sure.
So then it leaves a lot open.
Yeah. Some of the ones that, like some of the things that I pulled, some of the ones that I've used before, like one of the things that this one says is, how old do they appear?
I think that would fall under basic description as long as you know, like I wouldn't mention that about someone who there wasn't a disparity from what you would expect.
I'm totally stealing this from D&D 5th edition, but I really liked the section they put in there for ideals and flaws. What do they aspire to? And what is, their weakness? Yeah,
I do actually have character sheets that Travis sent me late, so I couldn't prepare them.
Of course.
Yeah, because my favorite characters.
I asked him at noon.
Oh.
So, thanks.
It clearly was not enough lead time.
Yeah. I love the characters where, their greatest strength is in a situation where it's their weakness, where, maybe a little forethought would have prevented this thing. Or maybe if you were more decisive, you could have,
yeah, so
it got worse.
We'll do like a strengths, and then a flaws, and then
job and skills.
I was gonna do goals and then ideals next.
Yeah. Okay.
And
goals
then
are super clutch. What are the kids saying these days? Clutch, right?
I don't know any of those. The closest I know to any kids is Jacob and Godzilla, and they are unique. And Godzilla's probably millions of years old, to be real.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, Godzilla Travis said he's sorry in the chat. Well, you should be. You know I'm terrible at everything, so he's going to send it to me late. Alright. So we got the name, age, basic description, gender. No, I just put on lotion. Get away from me. Get away. Get away. Get away. Get away. Get away.
Is it the fuzzy one?
Uh-huh. If I do that, it's too much wind in her face.
It blows back the flu.
Yeah, she'll touch me and then I'll just have like fur gloves on. So I gotta wait till some of it soaks in.
Right.
Yeah, see, and I've had a number of them from a number of different places, but I've always they've always had things on them that didn't make sense to me, or like they're always just not. I don't like them. I don't know. Every time I get one, I go to use it and I don't like it. So
job and skills.
Okay. We'll put both together.
I'm just trying to think of the things that I like to know about my main characters before I get started.
Important relationships.
Yes.
Yes.
For good or bad. How well do they get along with their mom and their boss and their whatever?
Yeah, we'll leave some extra space there.
Families can be complicated.
Yes.
That is for sure.
Yes.
Isn't there a thing about all happy families are the same, all
happy families are happy in the same way, all dysfunctional families are different. Yeah. Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. One of my favorite.
Well done.
Thank you. Bringing some classics in.
Let's see. Spence says name, age, the lie they believe about the world, why they believe that lie, why this makes them the asshole, why this makes them the saddest asshole, what they need to learn, and their tangible goals.
Who is their role model?
Yeah. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Can you tell I make forms? It's a part of my job.
What do they love and what do they hate?
Okay. I want to write universal loves because I play too much Stardew Valley. Like,
I'll be right back.
They like prismatic shards. Everyone except Haley likes prismatic shards. Do not give Haley a prismatic shard. They're worth too much money. She's also a bitch. Not Haley Spence, but Haley on Stardew Valley. I can't stop talking bad about her. She's a bitch. All right, so then Haley had some other ones that I think we can... the lie they believe about the world. I think we could... that might be a little specific, but I think we could work with that. Like, I think there's... Like, I feel like that wording... First of all, it's Haley's wording, and I don't want to be a steely, but also I feel like that could be worded in a way that was more tangible for more areas, if that makes sense. I guess, like, my inclination is to be like, what's your angle?
At this point, I'd probably just hit Google image search and look until I found a picture that looked about like my character. Because I'm not an artist and I'm not a horribly visual person.
I don't like character pictures. I hate them. I don't like seeing them from other people. I don't. Yeah. And also there's no way to do that here. Right. It would have to be done at the end in order
or leave a box.
Right. But like, there's no way where we're at here for me to put one here.
Yeah, no.
Just because it would fuck up the format.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I actually, the idea of making character pictures makes me cringe. I don't know why. It is like, when I found out people were doing that in AuthorTube, I was like, you guys are fucking insane. Every one of you is insane. Why would you do that? Like, that's the beauty of me writing about it, is that I don't have to give you a picture of what this person looks like. It blows my mind. Blows my fucking mind. And I'm not, like, mad about it, but, like, it blows my mind that people do it.
I usually pin an actress or a model. I don't want to, like, scrounge Facebook for randos, because that seems sketch. but models and actors, have their face out there on purpose. And I just look until I find someone who looks about right. So that way I can look back and not totally change how they look 5 chapters later because I've forgotten, because I'm not that visual of a person.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, is that 2 minutes after we're off our call, I don't know what you look like.
Yeah.
I don't know what CJ looks like. I couldn't describe Travis to the police if I needed to. Don't ask me.
I'm a pale brunette who's shorter than you.
Yeah, like... I just, like... It isn't a thing for me. It's not... I tend to skim over it when it's in someone else's book.
Yep.
I just don't think that way. So it's always just been absurd to me that I felt like I was expected to know that. There is now a tiny fly.
At least you stopped coughing?
I did stop coughing for now, but you may have jinxed it.
I knocked on wood.
What's going to happen is that I'm going to inhale the fly, and then I'll be back to it. That'll be the end of the day. That's going to be...
You swallow a frog after the fly.
Oh,
frog,
no. I've been over that already. I tried that already this week. It did not work.
Oh, dear. So, yeah.
Apparently Fairy Law also does not know what the hell people look like, so... And, like, I'm not, like, offended that other people think that way. I realize that they do, but I'm always just... Like, it has been very intimidating to me, especially early on, when I didn't know that you don't all have to do it the same way. Right. Having that, like, why don't you draw a sketch of your character? I was like, do I have to fucking care about this? Like, because I don't, and I'm worried, like, and now it doesn't bother me, because I know now.
Right. So, I went to a writer's workshop on creating secondary characters, and it was held by Jo Walton, and she's amazing. But what she did was she had all of us write down 3 adjectives to describe a character on separate sheets of paper, and then put them all in the same bag. And then we drew out 3 and figured out who this character with these 3 non-matching adjectives would be. Because so often, when you think of the barista, you think of, college age girl English major, you know?
Right.
And so this switches it up a bit, and, because all types of people do all types of things. And so
right.
I thought it was, I used it in one of my NaNoWriMos for all my secondary characters. I just had a list of adjectives in 3 lines, and I just go through and pick random, or I probably rolled dice and got 3 and just rolled with it, just to keep my characters from falling into a trope or a stereotype.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. When I was writing a lot of short stories, I used to do a lot of opening lines for the same reason. Like, oh, my microphone looks like a dick. Sorry, I couldn't leave it like that after I noticed. But yeah, I used to do a lot of opening lines because that kept me from just, like, staying in my lane.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to even notice you're doing those things. I am certain that your favorite author who has these tropes didn't know they did until people started kind of making fun of them for having the tropes.
I was at a panel a couple weekends ago, and one guy's like, I always have this one-eyed guy who ends up dying before the end of the novel, no matter what series it is.
If you're gonna kill him, give him an extra eye at least. Good Lord.
Or make them lose a different body part. Switch
right?
it up.
Right? Like, why are they all gotta be one-eyed? What are you doing?
I forgot to ask if he switched up which eye it was.
I wouldn't even tell you which eye.
So I know that I'm left-eye dominant, and I'm just curious if the focal point shifts when you're one-eyed, or if it's still you learn to adapt to your offset perception.
I would guess that, just because humans are,
although,
for the most part, very adaptable physically.
Although phantom limb pain doesn't exist, so don't count anything out.
That's true.
People have pain in limbs that don't exist all the time, so if humans can make it weird, humans will make it weird.
I mean, cats might make it weird too. They just are bad at communicating to us.
Yes.
So bad. Also, not as sneaky as they think they are.
No. Oh my gosh. My boyfriend has two cats, and one of them is profoundly deaf. Runs like an elephant. Is not ever as sneaky as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
And his little sister has been like, oh, so this is how we play. So they're the two loudest cats, and they're what are the, not Norwegians, the other ones that are huge.
Maine Coons?
Oh, maybe it is Norwegians. One of the two. They're big cats.
Long hair, fluffy things?
Yep.
Yeah, they might be forest cats. Maine Coons tend to be a lot mellower than forest cats, I think.
They're pretty mellow. Oh, and they both have heterochromia, but reversed. So it's like they each swapped an eye. It's super cute.
Oh,
but anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about cats I'm not showing you.
Totally weird thing. I have a little piece of ear here that, like, I call it my elf ear. My mom, on her right ear, doesn't have a rib on the top of hers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I always tell her, I'm like, well, they had to cut me off of your ear. But I always thought it was weird that I have a little extra piece and she has a little... And we look a lot alike, minus 29 years or whatever it was.
I have the flattest canines you will ever see. They're just like... Clearly, I'm neither vampire nor werewolf because I'm not ripping flesh with these.
Let's add an odd trait.
Yes.
Odd physical trait?
It doesn't have to be. Why do you have to? Why you gotta limit me?
I was asking a question.
What about odd traits, parentheses, / quirks?
We'll just do or, but y'all know that or means and or. Do you think we need 2 lines for that? No. No, because the font you type in here is going to be able to be fairly small.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I missed chat. Hold on. Jesse said, you learn to understand how the visual difference is for you with one eye.
Hi, Catechus.
So, there you go. Oh.
I forgot how dangerous it was to have ponytails around this cat.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I want you to know, braids are really dangerous around mine.
Hi, baby. Do you want to come say hi?
Yeah, Zug would chase mine, but she's not a personal space cat. She wants hers, and she'll leave you with yours. Okay. So, hold on, I'm going to open these character sheets that you guys can't see because I don't have a way to show it to you.
What about one that's like habits or mannerisms, which I think are separate from traits or quirks?
I think probably, yeah. Is that? I didn't think that was right.
2 ends.
No, it's right-click the right one. You don't spell anything that way, CJ. It does it itself. With magic.
What about pets or companions like horses and that sort of thing?
I'm just going to use or. I need to stop. I need to stop letting myself change it up. We gotta, do some uniformity, and my brain hates it. My brain's like, no, do it different! Alright. I'm just kind of flipping through these to glance at them. Oh yeah, things they carry with them everywhere. Physical things, like items.
You could just
always.
put items.
Yeah, I suppose. And you know what? I'm going to make this a double line only because I think some people will need that. I don't think it'll be... I think it'll be more common than some of the other ones. Why am I getting echo? That was weird. Okay, it stopped. That was weird.
Do we want something like motivations?
I thought that was the hopes and dreams. Or okay. Goals and ideals.
Yeah, goals and ideals. So maybe... how about in there we can add public agenda, because a lot of people do not have the same agenda that their public agenda is. So that way, that gives you room to identify if, well, they say they're doing this, but they're absolutely not.
It's true. My public agenda is to be a normal person. My private agenda is to drive my sister insane with requests for unreasonable animals.
I mean...
That's fair.
Wait. I think you're at the proper cat ratio at this point, though.
Oh, yeah, cat ratio. We're definitely perfect.
Okay.
But I was thinking like, alpacas and chickens and goats, and that's pretty much all I want.
Miniature goats would be a great time.
Oh, miniature goats. I follow this lady who has a hobby farm on TikTok, and she has goats, and like 6 of them just had babies.
I told you the boyfriend's farm has 9 right now.
Right.
Although it was shearing day yesterday, so all but one got sheared off its baby fleece, which is going to be the most color saturated because goats live outside and that sun reaches them. But one of them has already been sold, so that person wanted the fleece and said leave it on for now.
Well done.
His name is Ritz because he's got like 2 white back legs and like a belt, so it's like he's got chaps on and it's adorable, and like little white hoofs and like a brownish red. Anyway, super cute baby goat.
Right. Let's try... I had something and then my brain shut off. It went... Never mind. Where did it go? I was looking at a thing and it went, hey, how about that thing? And I went, oh, I'd have to do a little different. Trying to think of what. Oh, yeah, we should. We're gonna shorten name a little and fit pronouns in here. Actually, age could be a lot shorter because it's gonna be
2 to 3 digits.
Like
maybe 4 if somebody's doing a lot of craziness. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
16,346.
There we go. That is a thing we did forget. I knew there was a space in there for something. I was like, something else goes there. I don't know what though. See, trying to think of basic stuff about people that like, because we haven't gotten to like the more specific or genre stuff. We're still in like humans.
I mean, other than adding species and maybe cultural touchstones.
We'll just
cultural touchstones.
Well, but you know what? I'm just going to put cultural. Then you can put whatever you kind of want.
Okay. Do we want to put religion in there?
Yeah.
I always have to make
I was going to say, instead of religion, maybe philosophy. Because not everyone...
Spirituality.
That'll work too.
Because
yes.
I wouldn't consider philosophy and religion to even be in the same sphere.
That's fair.
I know a lot of religious people.
With really messed up philosophies and vice versa.
I know a handful of them who couldn't be bothered to know what a philosophy was. So that's
they
one
spell
of the
it
problems.
with an F.
Yes.
They spell it with an F.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, those people exist. So let's
not because it's a spelling issue.
No, not for literacy's problems.
What about past, like, things about their background? Like, this one has things like past failures and embarrassments. I have one that asks
biggest regret.
What were they like as a young person?
See, and I don't know, do people really answer those questions? Because I find those off-putting.
What about reputation? And if we want to, we can go in when they were a kid, and if not, how people see them now. It can be as light or as deep as anyone wants to get.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems I'm having, is that I don't want to. I'm trying to make it more universal. Yeah.
This is already more than I usually do.
Yeah, well, and I kind of figured that the idea was that we would have something that you would skip some questions,
right?
And other questions will be like, holy shit, I needed that on this, and we didn't have that on my other one. So that was kind of the idea of doing a hybrid too. See how they interact with other people, like if they manipulate people, how would we
personality traits?
No, because I think that's too general.
Yeah.
So
this is one that I
outward
pulled from.
Facade.
I haven't used all of it, but this one has questions like, how does the character react in a crisis? How do they face problems? How do they react to change? So, like,
but
reactions.
I don't want us to write a whole sentence to ask a question on here.
No,
that's one of the things about it that I don't.
I'm trying to figure out how would you put that into a single
social facade
responses?
We'll put social as one, just social, just general. And then I had something and it's gone.
Internal.
No, I had an idea that was something. Coping skills.
Oh, yes.
Because that is something that will probably show up repeatedly. And everybody has some sort of coping skills. But I think that could be very telling, and also it could be very useful to, nail biting or things like that would fall into that, but so would things like manipulating other people and
what about health concerns? That can cover physical and mental.
Okay. Let's give that a second line.
Yeah.
Because that could be a very key part of a story. Yeah, so there could be a lot of information there. Proudest accomplishment.
I think maybe.
See? Can't do it.
And I don't know.
Double letters make me crazy.
I
don't double letters. I let it double letters because I always double the wrong letters. I had the word sheriff in a story and refused outright to spell it. I just went through at the end and redid it. Can't do it.
Biggest shame?
Yeah, I was going to say, or biggest regret.
Regret, there we go, yeah. Most foolish moment that wakes them up in the night 10 years later.
Public agenda, hidden agenda.
Yes, that's much better phrasing.
I knew that eventually I would come up with at least one of us would come up with a word that made more sense than then like...
How are those different than goal, or do they split up goal into two different parts?
No, because I think goals and agendas are different. My goal might be to live till I'm 80, but my agenda is to fuck up my neighbor's yard and make them annoyed.
And especially in terms of like characters, like your goal can be the goal can be like the character's goal within the story.
Yeah.
And the agenda might be how they want to pursue that, how they pursue
Are we planning? Are we? Is this character sheet about the character or about the plot, or both?
I would say both.
Because if so, maybe what stands in their way, impediments.
Okay. Where would I stick that? That's my bigger question right now.
Right after both the agendas, maybe?
Yeah, then let's do this. And then put...
Because if we put it right after goals and agendas, that's what they'll be thinking about.
Yes.
And so it'll flow naturally.
I just put a C in there. It's
yeah, you did.
You know what it is?
Say, were you trying to write indictments?
I think that's what happened. I think I write indictment too many times. I don't even work in a law office that does a lot of criminal, but I write indictment apparently entirely too often. I can't double a letter, but I remember that there's a silent C in indictment. And then stick it in a different word.
I mean, just stick it in wherever it makes sense.
Here is this character sheet has archetype, and I think that would be cool to put in under, let's maybe above traits and quirks, do archetype.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you could do that there.
I think that would be useful.
Yeah, and then people can use, Myers-Briggs or Paladin or whatever floats their boat.
Yeah, or even just make up their own system, because a lot of people will probably have their own system.
The mother friend.
Right?
The drunk woo girl.
Chad.
Woo!
Chad.
Todd.
Oh, Todd. Todd doesn't like to be pigeonholed.
Yeah, I had a friend change his name to Todd on Facebook as a joke, and then found out once you change it, you can't change it back for 30 days.
Oh, no.
So he was Todd for 30 days. And now whenever something is wrong in his life, we're like, oh, Todd.
I was Scott Malkinson for a long time, and Scott Malkinson has diabetes. It's from South Park. He was my favorite character. He has a lisp and diabetes.
Gotcha.
Well, he was my favorite character, partly because I was tired of people calling me Tweak. So that was during the period of time when I was eating a lot of chocolate covered espresso beans. So I can't be held responsible.
I mean,
ooh, pet. What about pet causes?
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah. Do we want to put pet peeves right after that?
Yeah. Hey, I doubled that E all by myself.
Oh, look at
that. So proud.
She's
so proud. Represent.
Let's see. That might be good for the initial. I don't know.
Wait, scroll up a little. I want to see one section real quick. Go up to the previous page. Maybe break out from important relationships to family trauma. What do you have from your parents?
You know what? Let's just add it. Because that does enter into it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we're writing PCs, not NPCs here.
Right. So we want to, and we're going to be writing inside their head as well, which is always a good thing to remember. That's one of the big differences between a character sheet and a And like an actual writing one is that the inside the head doesn't stay inside the head nearly as much.
I need that on a sticker or something.
Let's see.
Are they more street smart or book smart or neither?
I don't know how I'd put that.
Wisdom/int question mark.
Right.
I would probably just do book/street smarts. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can, but
my hand.
I don't like that. But yeah, I'll do it.
Hi, baby.
I don't like those classifications in general.
Yeah. Streak.
Well,
Hi,
okay.
Eating my hand.
There's a whole reason that sometimes I write screets, but that's a whole long story, and I think it would get me copyright claimed. So I can talk about it at some point, but pretty sure it would get me copyright claimed. All right. Let's see. Let me just double check and make sure I'm not. Still just chilling here, it looks like. Let's see. All right, so what I think we can do now is we can go on to the next page. We'll just leave a little space there, maybe something else will come up. Right. So do we want to start we'll do like a sci-fi fantasy one, or you know what, we could do a speculative.
We could do We could do horror.
Well, if we do speculative, it takes all of them.
Yup.
And then we can kind of jump over having 400 sections and just go to having like a couple.
Yeah.
So.
You want to have 400 sections?
All right. So the first thing for speculative would be
species.
Setting.
Yeah, I think we'd start with setting.
Probably.
Well, it's a character sheet though.
So where are they?
Yeah, but I think who they are is probably more
informed by where they grew up. Tech level? Sorry, that's world again.
Yeah, ultimately it's not that big of a deal. It's just layout and semantics. But so we'll do like
what if you just wrote home?
Home?
Yeah, like
that'll cover setting without necessarily
origin.
Sure,
might work.
I just feel like home might end up confusing someone using it.
Hi, Catecus.
Could you? And I know you have
Gentle.
I know you have a thing against writing full sentences, but could these ones be questions, even if they're like where is the character from?
Wouldn't origin be where is the character from? In not as many words?
Maybe. I think origin, like when I think origin, I think like how were they created?
That wouldn't even occur to me. Maybe that's me.
Okay.
I don't know.
And that's just
me. Origin says hometown/planet/whatever.
Okay. Then it's just me. And
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Nope. That's clearly me. So
one of the problems with there only being 3 of us is that we kind of just have to split the difference.
Right? 2 out of 3.
I'm trying to check the chat, but nobody else seems to care.
They'll have to live with whatever.
Because I think what we'll want to do is we'll want to figure out a different way to manage, and maybe we can do this in another chat, a way to manage locations and things like that, because I don't think this is the best place to do it for a number of reasons, including the fact that I think it will be hard to remember you've put it here.
Yeah.
Like if this is the primary place you put it, it's one thing for it to be here too, but I think you'd also want a primary place where you're keeping those things, especially if you're working in like space. Yeah. You know, like you probably aren't going to have 2 lines to describe your whole planet in space. No, you're probably going to want more than that. So I think as far as those kinds of things, we might have to maybe we'll do that on another stream.
See Appendix A.
Right.
Page
like
4.
Yeah. So I wonder if maybe down the road, what we can do is we can talk about specific genres and more kind of specific stuff that you'd want to keep track of for those. Yeah. And that could fill in the blanks there, because I don't want to not include stuff and just be like, no, that's not important, because it's not that it's not important. We're just trying to we're trying to capture things in a thing. Travis said Birthplace. Ooh. Do we want to do that? I think Birthplace would probably go in the original. So we'll put it up here. So I told you I was leaving space for a reason. Birthplace. And I'll leave a long line in case you need, planet and shit on there. So we've got origin. Fuck you! Put supernatural, magical.
Yeah. Creatures or abilities?
Well, it would be a character sheet, so it would be like abilities and knowledge and... Fuck, I hate that. I hate it so much. I've literally never used that function in the history of Word.
No, it always annoys me too.
Never used it. Never once.
Why would you need it? That's my question.
That's the thing, is there are other ways to make that.
Called underlining.
Right.
That a kindergartner can do.
Right, or I could drop in an image of a line if I want a thicker one.
Right. I don't. A table.
Right, that's the thing, is there are 100 other ways for me to make a thicker line if I just want a thicker line. I can just make the font bigger on the line. Bold it. Dickheads. I am firmly of the belief that every time a computer tries to help me, it really wants to see if I will break it.
So one thing I've forgotten before, but had to remember for my speculative worlds, is no matter what religion or lack thereof, there's going to be some type of holiday or feasts.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's... I guess holidays.
And, if you're writing a horror story, Halloween's going to be special, usually. Right. Or, some sort of harvest, whatever thing.
Yeah.
Or the death of the year, or whatever.
Let's put seasonal. Because
what seasons do they have?
Right, and what does that mean to the character, and how does that interact? Things. If it's snowing and the character hates snow, things are very different.
Diet, although that might be back one, depending on their culture.
Let's put that back.
I was gonna say this also may go back to back, but language spoken.
Yeah.
Or languages spoken.
Yeah. What was the first one? I can't remember 10 seconds, you guys.
What did you say?
Diet.
Diet.
In the what do they eat sense, not in the Atkins sense.
Right. Yeah, I'll just put diet and languages next to each other. That's fine.
Yep.
All right. Okay, what else we got here? I think I'm going to add another line to origin. I think origin in speculative fiction is the one place where I think a third line thus far might be.
I think diet might need a full line in and of itself, unless you're just going to write rice-based, pasta-based, potato-based.
Yeah, except that we're typing at 20 font, and in Adobe, it will default to probably like 14. So it will give you a lot more space on that line.
Right. I'm just saying half of a page across 4 inches is not enough unless I'm just going to say what the predominant starch is.
Well, but that's in Word. But she's going to make
right. I'm going to put it into an Adobe
form.
Sure.
Yeah. So it won't be. I mean, I guess I would skip that question. So maybe I'm just wrong. So I'll give you more space.
It's just something that a lot of people writing speculative fiction just say stew and ales, and maybe they should think a little harder about what food.
Yeah, because food tends to be, not always, but particularly for humans, it tends to be a essential part of culture.
But it's also not journey food, unless you're along a stream. And anyway, thoughts and feelings on that one. Hi.
Let's see. Trying to think of what other specific kind of speculative. Yes. Trying to think of what other things would go under speculative. Why don't we skip ahead, and we keep going back anyway, so we may as well. Let's do a romance section. I don't do romance, so it'd be great to have some assistance here, because I have literally
cute meat.
What does that mean?
It's when they first bump into each other.
Yeah.
It's called cute meat?
It's not always a cute meat, but yeah, that's the popular one.
This is why I don't read romance. That sounds terrible. I would put the book down. Psh, done. Why is meat now a hyperlink? To what?
Don't know.
Oh no.
I can't. Okay. Now that was not me. That was Word.
Yeah.
Initial conflict.
Yeah. Although this is plotting.
Yeah, this is plot.
Romantic lead, we need to know who he is.
Or she.
Right. Or they, or, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we say reasons for attraction?
Sure.
That doesn't even sound like a question that a person could answer. Is that supposed
He's hot. I like his hips. I like the spiky hair.
What is the first thing, like, maybe reasons for attraction, maybe first impression.
First impression, yeah.
Instead of reasons for attraction. First impression. I'm looking at the romancing the beats. Romancing the beats.
False romantic lead.
Does that fall under?
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. Does that fall under like a character kind of thing?
Yeah, it's usually, well, that might be under plot as well.
Okay. As is the supportive bestie and or pressuring parents or whatever.
Yeah.
Why don't we add like a 2-line section that would be trope co-stars.
Yes. Yes.
So
I like it.
They are a trope, but they also are a co-star, and so your interaction would matter.
Oh crap! I had one, and
that's what keeps happening to me, and it genuinely is like within a second, my brain is just like, nope, you didn't need that, bitch. It's going back.
Reasons against falling in love.
That's too much plot, I think.
Except it's about the character themselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how to.
But we already have up here. We already have the impediments.
Yeah.
And the.
That's true.
The flaws, and I think that could fall under that.
Yeah.
Maybe romantic hesitation?
I almost want to say, instead of calling out a lot more things, we just put a list in parentheses of all the things you shouldn't skip for this genre. Like, these are very key.
See romancing the beat.
Oh, I just meant don't skip flaws, don't skip impediments, don't skip goals, you know.
Sir?
No, we don't eat tables. We don't eat tables.
Ooh, see? I'm the only one whose kitties ain't bad. I'm a good cat, Mom. I got a good cat. So they're asleep somewhere, really, is all it is. They've already made their trouble. I had to do this earlier at Dreamer, so...
There you go.
I knew somebody who used to do that with their actual human children, and I can't remember who it was, but they would say things to me, like, when I think it might have, I won't say the person's name, but I think it might have been not the person you're thinking of.
Okay.
They used to say things to me like, my kid would never act like that.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay, I guess if you feel great about that, good for you.
Give me 1 second.
Oh. Yes, we go, baby. Is that better?
So everybody left me. I literally know nothing about romance. I'm about to write.
I can still hear you. I'm sorry. I found out that the cat's food bowl was completely empty.
Oh.
And I'm a horrible monster. But like the cat bowl is 4 steps that way.
No, that's all right. I'm just giving you guys shit. I'm about to just put like, is this person a hoe? And no, that is not a negative trait. It's a positive trait as long as you are comfortable with choices and you are engaging safely.
Sex positivity?
Yeah, or sexual attitude.
Yeah, sure.
Because that gives you the ability to go either way with it.
Yeah,
right.
Well, we'll put sex attitude. Because I don't want to put sexual attitude, because sexual attitude would be a little more...
like orientation.
Or like what they're into, and...
Yeah.
And we're doing romance, not erotica.
Okay. So, are we putting in kinks or not?
That's what I was going to ask.
I think we could add a separate section for erotica. That one may be a little shorter, because it is kind of... just a step up from romance. It would be kind of like if we did a slasher section under speculative.
I think we could just add kink in here.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think you could do that. Yeah, I think you could just add...
Because in soft romance, they're going to be very gentle kinks, and in, harder core stuff, they can be as hardcore as you want to go.
Okay.
And
like I said, I don't read this, so I have no frame of reference. I think this
falls under, if you can't use that, you just won't.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just skip that question.
Should it be kink or sexual preferences?
Could we just say kink/preferences? Because I think there is a difference.
Yeah, but there's an overlap.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Is that enough space? I don't know how you...
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how you perverts do.
Depends how perverted they are.
It could be a very long list for some people.
I'm not really judging you guys. It was a joke.
I'm pretty sure, like, the official kink book is like 13 pages long.
What?
Of options. Yeah. Anyway.
All the known and recognized kinks make up 13 pages.
Exactly.
I don't remember what it was, but I was watching something very old, like a television show old, not like ancient, but like from like the 90s, I think it was. And they talked about the Kama Sutra like it was uncovered in a desert somewhere. And like 6 people had seen it. And I'm like, you can just go to the bookstore and buy it. Like, it isn't that exciting. Like, calm down. But I think it's because they were trying to describe it without, like, going to... Yeah, like... Oh.
Yep. Read again.
Yep.
Read again.
Yep.
It's the Kama Sutra instead of the Kama Sutra.
Yeah. But I think it was because the general population wouldn't know what it was, so they were trying to describe it without making it. But it came off very much like, it's the Kama Sutra. What do we do when we see the Kama Sutra? We must leave the room. Like, it was like fear. It was very weird. I was just like, well...
Did they do the same thing with the joy of sex?
Probably not. I think the Kama Sutra, because the title is not in American English, I think that was very threatening. I think that was part of the additional mystique. What else goes in here, you guys? I don't know nothing about nothing.
I don't think we need anything else for character building.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay. So then is there... What else would we do? We've got...
Mystery?
Mystery? Okay. Do you guys know anything about mystery? Because I don't know a ton.
I've read a bunch of cozies.
It's more than I know.
I mean, step 1, do they have a cat in it? No, I think you need your list of suspects.
Okay.
You need to know who's dead.
Okay, hold on. We'll do suspects,
Victims,
and relation.
Oh,
Yes.
Because how they relate to everyone is going to matter in this situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is going to be a lot broader than the other sections because of the nature of mystery.
Right, yeah.
What was the next one?
I was going to say, she said...
Victim.
The victim or
Victim.
victims.
Dead body.
How about a...
Mr. Body.
Okay. Crime description?
Sure, yeah.
Again, I go back to, is that plot or is that character development?
Well,
true. How does... We need to know how the main character got involved.
That was kind of what I was trying to go for, and a lot of times it seems that they stumble onto it, and so they are by default involved because they find the body or they find the weapon or...
How about relation to victim?
Cunt.
I would probably switch up the order with victim, relation to victim, and then suspects afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that looks good.
Do you think we need more room for the relation?
I think maybe one more line might be.
Okay, just in case.
Then we'll need 3 for all the suspects because there's more than one of those.
Yeah. Fucking asshole. Oh my fucking god.
Set it on fire with your brain.
I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. This shit is the reason I'm going to die. I just want everyone to know that.
Your blood pressure is about here right now.
I fucking hate it. I hate that it tries to help me. I hate that then it fucks me over.
Right.
Can a format copy fix it?
I don't know what you mean by that.
On the home tab.
It's not about how I copied it. It's about the fact that it won't then because I've typed something, it will not undo it now. So I have to start this part all over. So I have to delete the whole thing to start it over because it won't undo it because I typed after it made the bar.
This word is a dick. This is not a toy.
See? It won't delete the bar in any fucking way. I have to... It won't delete it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Where are all your books?
It's absolutely fucking infuriating.
Yeah.
And I've turned off everything that it's supposed to automatically do besides give me a line that says that something's wrong, and it still won't stop doing it. I don't know what the fucking problem is, but it's infuriating. It's enough to make me want to throw something in a river. Okay. Cunt! Someday I'm going to be like, I don't understand why I'm not monetized. Maybe it's because I say cunt a lot.
Maybe we need relationship with authorities.
Ooh, yes.
Are you working with them, against them, or tangentially, or in secret? You know, it's... Or are they the prime suspect, you know?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I wish Tamara was here, because Oh my fucking god! I missed the backspace key and almost fucked myself.
I think that's the main parts.
Clues!
Clues, yeah.
Clues and location.
I was gonna say / red herrings.
I think a clue and a red herring would fall under the same thing typically, wouldn't it? Like it's still a clue, it's just a red herring.
Yeah.
The red herring is always communism.
Communism is always a red herring.
There we go.
One of my friends who writes mysteries said that they like to pick one of like 2 or 3 people and set up the clues for all 3 of them and then decide on the last chapter which way they're going. So hopefully it'll be a surprise for the reader as well.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I maintain doing discovery writing is because I don't know the answer until I get there. And I don't know how somebody else would. Either.
Yeah.
If I didn't know it when I started, I don't know how the hell you'd know it. I mean, you might guess right, just statistically, but...
Right. I think that's the main stuff you need with mysteries.
I agree.
I mean, we've already got pets up above,
right.
So, you know. And emotional trauma, because the main character's usually working through something.
Right. Trying to think if there's anything we're missing. Speculative.
If you want literary fiction, all you have to do is say I'm a middle-aged man who wants to date a woman half my age, and there you go. That's 90% of them.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, I read Slush for a year.
Yeah, I have feelings about about the tag of literary fiction. To be real, I think that pigeonholing certain things as literary and not allowing other things to be literary is absolutely fucking absurd. I
think literary fiction is the most boringest genre that people only read for prestige and for class. So.
Here's the thing, though, is that there are absolutely literary horror stories and literary...
It doesn't have to be. Yeah, definitely.
I always wonder what...
Oh, it's raining. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? I thought my brand new air conditioner was broken.
Oh, no.
It's rain.
What is the definition of literary fiction?
I would say it's got a strong narrator that
Let's see.
Maybe has a little personality but doesn't take away from the story.
Okay, so here's what Wiki says.
Okay.
Market novels that do not fit neatly into an established genre, or otherwise novels that are character-driven rather than plot-driven, and examine the human condition, use language in an experimental or poetic fashion, or are simply considered serious art. It's the last ones that suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones
that
that are
just says
trying too hard
gatekeep.
to say something, they
Mhm.
come in with a message and then they beat you over the head with it.
Yep, and then they want to gatekeep who gets to be in that corner.
And I'm like, I don't want to read it, so have your corner.
Right. Hang out, have a good time over there. We're all
But no,
annoyed.
you can definitely have amazing stuff, but the stereotype in 80% of the genre is not my jam. 20%, sure, bring it. Wow, that's impressive, amazing stuff you've done.
I think it's a tag to more easily bloviate.
I would say, like, what I'm hearing, at least as far as that definition is concerned, is that the only thing that sets it apart from good literature of any kind is that it doesn't fit into any other genre. Like, that's the only thing I see different. Literature that doesn't fit into any other genre.
Oh, but if it's about women's lives, it gets stuck in women's lit, even if it's literary fiction.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that,
that's
how you end up with 80% of it being stuff I don't want to read, because they've like shunted anything that's not pretentious with something up their bums into a genre that actually sounds fun.
Right.
Yeah, anytime that you're told how you're supposed to appreciate something, you're probably on your way to being annoyed if you're paying attention. Probably.
A lot of literary is more about the writing techniques and saying something than it is about the story.
Right, and if I finish and I'm annoyed, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, I'm okay with the character being front and center if the character isn't a complete, like,
douche nozzle.
By the way it is written, most discovery writing is character driven, because it starts with a character and you follow a character.
Right.
And it's, what do they want?
Right.
And what's in their way. Yeah.
Right. And there's plenty of discovery writers who do not write literary fiction. Like, it feels very much like a way to gatekeep and say, I'm really important.
Yeah.
So,
blow smoke up somebody else's ass.
When I was
20%.
When I was hanging out in goth clubs in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was a kid who would show up occasionally, and this was how he would talk to you. He would go, so I was on my way down the road in my $250 jacket, and I stopped to tie my $385 boot, and this homeless guy came up to me. And he asked me if he could have my $450 t-shirt. First of all, this never happened. Second of all, you're being shitty to other people. And third of all, you're just grossing me out. And that's how I feel about that kind of thing. Like, I feel like they're all that guy.
Yep.
And they also love to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
When the devil doesn't need one.
Well, and also...
And it's usually about situations they have never been in and never will be.
And they can't recognize how they're not actually playing devil's advocate. And if you explain to them that that's the case, then you're a dickhead. So...
Is it really the devil's advocate if you're just saying what society has defaulted to anyway? Thoughts and feels.
Right. All right, and I'm just going to fill the bottom with additional lines.
Yes.
For anything that obviously we didn't get everything.
I appreciate your moment of silence there, Morgan.
Thank you.
This tiny fly in here tried to fly into my mouth while I was talking a minute ago.
It knew that you stopped coughing, so it was trying to mess things up for you.
It's trying to...
I can still hear you, but I desperately need water.
No, you're fine. CJ got up and took her damn headphones off last time. That's why I was, like, talking foolish.
Listen, the other option is for me to clothesline myself.
No, the other option is for you to grow the fuck up and get yourself some Bluetooth headphones.
I have Bluetooth headphones. I haven't fixed them.
To be real, I don't actually have Bluetooth on my computer.
We don't have.
Then why are you getting all judgmental? You're so mean.
That is not the primary thing that you have done when you have a computer made. Having Bluetooth installed is actually pretty low on the list. In fact, Bluetooth breaks really easy, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to have it in there in the first place.
I'm okay okay with the Bluetooth with the USB dongle.
Yeah, and that's why like I didn't have it installed in my computer, because like it breaks too easy if I get a $20 or $15 or $50 dongle or whatever.